Hey yo, what's up? It's Gary. We back today with part 3. Alright, you guys, here's what we're going to go over in this episode, alright? We're going to go over what is it, how to fund it, and where to find it, as well as probably some other little tidbits here and there, okay? Now, what is it? Commercial real estate, if you watch my other video, you're going to know that residential real estate is going to be 1 to 4 units, alright? And that being said, commercial real estate is going to be, you guessed it, 5 and up units. Good job. Now, where are we going to find these deals? All right. Well, you're going to have you either got 2 different sectors. All right. You're going to have your on market and you're going to have your off market. All right. Your on market is going to be simply your LoopNet. It's going to be your Realtor.com and things like that. All right. MLS, of course. Off market is obviously going to be off market. All right. You're not going to have a platform that you're going to be able to find it on. It's going to be all word of mouth, who you know, what wholesalers you know, what door knockers you know, things like that. All right. So that being said, we have what is it, we have where you're going to find it. Now we're going to move on to the third one, which is how you're going to fund it. All right. So that being said, how you going to fund it? We have kind of 3 different options for how you're going to fund it. All right. So the first one is, it's either going to be your money, it's going to be OPM, which is other people's money, or it's going to be a combination of all 3. All right. That's it. That's it. So your money is, you guessed it, your money. All right. Cash, whatever, 401k, yada, yada, yada. All right. OPM, other people's money, is going to be things like your big banks, okay? It's also going to get like big banks like Bank of America, Navy Federal, things like that, all right? It's also going to include your local banks, your local credit unions. Let's say you live in Jacksonville, Florida, your ViStar, all right? It's going to include private lenders. What are private lenders? Private lenders are going to be the rich aunt that you haven't talked to in 10 years. It could also be the loaded friend that you have, who you know from church, who goes on boat trips every other day. That's going to be your private lenders, right? The other one is going to be your hard money lenders, all right? What are hard money lenders? Hard money lenders are going to be kind of the no-name mortgage lenders that you're going to find on the internet, around town, word of mouth, etc., things like that. You've never heard of their name, but they're going to lend you that money if you're good for it. All right? So, and on another portion of that is going to be owner financing, of course. All right? So, let's kind of break those down just a little bit for you guys. Private lending, of course, I mentioned, it's going to be somebody who has a substantial amount of money who is willing to invest in you. And your hard money lender is going to consist of those banks you've never heard of, basically, that you found online. And they're going to give you deals such as, let's say you're doing a flip, all right? They're going to give you a deal, say, hey, all right, we're going to lend you X amount of money. You need $100K for your to purchase the property, right? Then you're going to need $40K in renovation. Obviously, there's going to be some closing costs in that as well, but very little since it's cash. They're going to lend you all that money, and they're going to lend you all that money at a very high interest rate for a short amount of time. All right, so they're going to say, hey, all right, we're going to lend you $150,000, all right, for let's say 6 to 12 months, all right? And at the end of those months, we're going to need all of that paid up in full, which is also referred to as a balloon payment, all right? That's what a hard money lender is going to be, essentially. Now, the other thing to that, outside of that, what's called owner financing, all right? Owner financing is going to give you kind of a similar deal. It's going to be a fairly high interest rate, higher than normal rates, maybe 7 to 10. And they're going to say, hey, look, we own the property outright. We have the title. We're going to do a promissory note in which you're just saying, hey, I'm going to pay you X amount for X amount of months at blank interest rate. And there's going to be a balloon payment in 5 years in which we're going to pay the remaining balance of that loan. All right. That's what a owner financing situation will look like typically. Now, private lender, hard money lender, owner financing. Now, another thing that could be an option as far as funding is going to be you syndicating the deal. All right. Now I'm going to get into apartment syndication, which is normally what it's called. But syndicating a deal means you are creating the deal. You are structuring it by getting investors together, and you all will purchase a property. All right. So kind of how that looks is basically you're going to have your GP, which ultimately, if you're watching this video, it's going to be you. All right. You are the GP. All right. And you're going to find the deal. You're going to structure the deal. You may even manage the deal, whatever. All right. And then below that, you're going to have your LPs. Your LPs are going to be your passive investors. All right. They are very hands off. They just want to invest X amount of money in you, and they want to get X amount of an ROI, and in their terms, it's going to be something called like a preferred return. So, that being said, you send them, in everything, in all of these deals, okay, you have to present the deal to them in a value that will benefit them, okay? Because they ultimately are the ones who are investing the money in you. So you're always gonna want to present the value from their side, all right? So ultimately you can write them a 50-page thing, or you can just do a 1 to 2 page paper basically, and they're only gonna want to know the basic stuff, all right? What is their return on time? Meaning, hey, we're gonna lend you this amount of money. When are we gonna get that amount of money back? All right. The next thing they're going to want to know is what will their return on investment be? All right. Hey, we're going to lend you X amount of money. You're going to pay that to us in how long? All right. And we are going to have gained how much money on top of our original investment. Other than those two things, they're also going to want to know what your exit strategy is. Meaning, hey, okay, you're going to have a balloon payment in X amount of months. All right. How do you plan, on top of paying us the monthly amount, all right, how do you plan to gather the rest of that money out of nothing? All right. So exit strategies are going to include like refinances or selling the actual home, all right, to recoup all of those costs, which ultimately is a thing called like IRR, what is your internal rate of return. So with all that being said, you're going to need to know key terms, all right? You're going to need to know ROI, what your cash on cash return is, or their cash on cash return is. You're going to need to know OPEX, CAPEX. You're going to need to know essentially, what the waterfall structure is, all right? Hey, the people who invest X amount are going to get a preferred return of, let's say, 8%. And at the end of the day, your only goal is to create absolute certainty with them, all right? It's just like selling, all right? You want to create value, And with that is absolute certainty. All right, that is the whole sales process. You are selling them on investing with you. All right, and so to that, there's another bunch of little tidbits here I'm gonna kind of just go over with you. In commercial real estate, there's a thing called class. All right. So what that is you have your A properties, your B properties, your C properties, and your D properties. All right. Your A properties, your Class A properties, are going to have a certain cap rate. All right. Commercial real estate is associated with net operating income and cap rate, and that's how you create the value of what it's valued at. That is commercial real estate in a nutshell. NOI, cap rate, equals the evaluation. NOI divided by your cap rate is going to give you your value of that property. All right. That is commercial real estate in a nutshell. You're going to be focused on your net operating income because that is how you can really scale things and really grow your ROI. Because all you're really worried about is your net operating income. Your cap rate is going to be your cap rate. All right. And it's going to be built off of everything going on around you in that area, we'll say, which will also be referred to as class. All right. So that is why it's easy to really be lucrative with commercial real estate, because all you have to do is increase that net operating income, and that in turn will increase the value of the property exponentially. All right. So that is ultimately what commercial real estate is all about. You have your what is it, where to find it, how to fund it. All right. So maybe you watch this whole video and maybe you were just like, what the does that mean? Well, the good news for you is I'm going to make a video. My next one is going to be a video about terminology. It's going to include majority of everything out there, right? It's going to have your ROI, it's going to have your IRR, it's going to have your cap rate, net operating income, it's going to have your joint venture, it's going to have your 506B, 506C when it comes to pooling money. It should have just about anything and everything that you're going to be needing in order to look and sound professional when you're talking about this to other private lenders, hard money lenders, whatever it is. Okay. So look out for that. I think it's, there's a saying where it says, majoring in the minors. All right. It's a bad thing to major in the minors, but in real estate investing, I think it's a great thing to major in the minors. That being said, I say that because let's say you just have one single family property, all right, and that's all you have. You have one unit, all right. You bought a house and then you moved and you bought another house, and so you're renting out that first house, all right. Majoring in the minors means you have that rental property and you're going to know every aspect of it when analyzing your own property. All right, you're going to know your ROI, your cap rate of the area. You're going to know what its valuation is. You're going to know how it performs. You're going to know its occupancy, whether it's physical or economic. And I think that when you major in the minors on such a simple thing, then it's easy for you to expand on that whenever you start to scale your business. All right. It's easy when you have a great foundation. Otherwise, you can just have a rental property, not know anything about it, and then you buy another one, and you really don't know anything about anything. All right. So I think it's a great thing to major in the minors to really have a solid foundation and platform that'll really basically catapult you to the next level and scale your business. All right. So in a nutshell, that is commercial real estate. I left out a ton of stuff. If you want me to elaborate on anything else that I went over, whether it's the apartment syndications, how to syndicate your own deal, what do hard money lenders look for, what do private money lenders look for, I'll probably do videos on how to analyze deals, how to calculate IRR, etc., stuff like that. Just so that when you are presenting these deals to your friends, family, your investors, you're going to be successful at that. All right. So leave a comment down below if you think I should elaborate on anything more. And then, yeah, that's about it. That's it, guys. That's commercial real estate. Let's go.
I tell you, 'cause I'm feeling so good.